we'll be taking a look at Hot Toys Star-Lord. Okay, here he is. Star-Lord, this is a non-exclusive version of the Hot Toys release action figure. It was originally released back in 2015, early in the year. I don't know exactly when the shipping for this guy started. I think it was somewhere around February or March. I originally had him on pre-order, but I had to cancel my pre-order because I was moving to a new place. I didn't know if I was going to have the space for him. So this is why this review is coming in so late. This guy has been out for a while now, almost a year now. I got him on eBay recently for a really cheap price. I paid around 170 bucks for it. Yeah, 170 bucks. Which if you know Hot Toys, that's very cheap. He was originally 239.99. I was a little worried at first, because for the price, I didn't know if I was getting scammed or not. But I decided to go for it. Maybe I was getting lucky, and I actually did get pretty lucky. So here you have the box. The first thing I have to say though about Hot Toys figures, because I love Hot Toys, like many of you probably do. The packaging on the Marvel figures are always really great because I feel like every single one of them is more unique towards the character that you're getting. If you see the Star Wars Hot Toys releases, they all have the same black and kind of grayish patterns with the picture of the figure in the middle, and it's kind of boring. So with this one right here, you get a picture of Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord in the movie. Um, it's a great picture of Star-Lord himself. Let's take a look around here. You have here 1/6 scale collectible figure at the bottom. Star-Lord, the title. Movie Masterpiece series. The side. Here's the back of it. You get a bunch of warning. A lot of it's not suitable for ages. Only suitable for ages 15 and up. Okay, that's fair enough. Get a bunch of other stuff in Mandarin, I think, and Hot Toys, legal stuff, copyright, choking hazard warnings. I don't see anywhere around here the people responsible for making this, so they usually have the credits, the sculptors, the painters, and whatnot. I don't see that here. Probably it's somewhere inside. Here's the other side. It's the same. So yeah, that is the box. Very nice box. Very sturdy, actually, in really good condition. I kind of like the bright purple of space in the background. And again, I mean, the box in these figures is it's really important for me, and this is a good one. I really enjoy it. So now let's open him up and see what he has. Okay, so here we have him out of the box with everything that he has. Again, I must reemphasize, this is not the exclusive from the Sideshow store. This is the regular Star-Lord. He brings a decent amount of accessories. Let's start with the little pieces here and there that it brings. First, we have the backpack, the handbag, or whatever you want to call it. The side pack. I'm not really sure if there's a name for this. It's just a backpack, Let's just leave it like that for now. You see him wearing in the beginning of the movie or at different points during it. It's very cool. I actually have not tried this on yet because I do have a very bad experience with leather goods from Hot Toys figures. I had them with the Thor figure where they break easily, so I'm trying to stay away from handling too much of the leather stuff. But yeah, it's actually really, really cool. Let me just take the plastic off. Oh, the buckle actually is really nice. Let me see if the camera can get a good look at that. Yeah, very nice buckle. I really love that actually. I might need to actually put it on the guy for display. Then we have the hands. One for the gun. Excuse my camera. There we go. I love the gloves on Star-Lord. I think they're awesome. So the hands look pretty cool. There's in total 5 hands. If I'm counting right, I think yeah, there is 5 hands, which is a weird number. You know, usually you expect them to be an even number of hands. This is a not number of hands. Not fist. I've seen a lot of people use the fist to make the to replicate that scene where Star-Lord is being examined by the, I guess in the prison he's being examined. He's about to do the little thing where he goes, let me show it. Like, ooh, like that. I think I've seen a lot of people use this hand to replicate the beginning of that little mockery of giving the finger that he does in the movie. So that's pretty cool. Then we have another fist for the other hand, for the other side. Nothing too special, but nothing too bad either. Everything pretty good. And then we have, well, as you can see, he already has one of the guns, his traditional guns. We have the other one. Very cool note to make. If you read the Star-Lord Guardian of the Galaxy's comic books, especially from the last couple of years after the movie came out, I think they were the Marvel Now, and the whole series there, and this is really not a spoiler because they make a point of it very early on. He is the son of a king of some sort, of an emperor, and he basically is a reluctant son of this guy, and these guns that he has are actually custom made for him, and they only work when he's using them. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if they cover that in the movie. I don't recall that covering any of that in the movie. Because also we don't know yet what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to do about his parentage yet. So they may end up going a completely different way in terms of who Star-Lord's dad really is. Then we have the Walkman. Let me just get the camera right. Okay, this thing is surprisingly detailed. It really does. It really is. I mean, if you look really closely, it kind of feels like there's actually a small little cassette tape inside of it. It's so cool that I don't think I'm ever gonna open it. It looks delicate. It's not. It's one of those things that looks way too delicate for me to actually want to open it up and take my chances of it. I think the figure doesn't really need it, but it's awesome to have. A huge part of the movie and his character is the love that he has for the tape that his mother makes him and the music that you know kind of reminds him of home. So that's a little nice thing to have around. I actually saw online on eBay. You can Google. Someone made a note, a letter, the letter that he gets from his mom at the end of the movie with the second tape. Someone made that for your Hot Toys, so you can get that as an extra accessory. And then we have the next piece, which is the head sculpt. Let me get if I can get the light better on him. There you go. So here's where I have a little problem with it. For the most part, if you look at it carefully, yeah, you have a resemblance to Chris Pratt. Excuse me. The nose, the jaws, everything around is really nice, well done. The hair is pretty decent. Oh, I'm sorry. You can only do so much with the hair. The point where it loses me a little is in the eyes. See, if you look here on the top right, on the picture of Chris Pratt, you can tell the eyes don't really quite match. I don't know. I feel like this guy is a sculpt of some guy who kind of looks like Chris Pratt, but it's not really Chris Pratt. And a lot of people are not going to agree with me because this is a very popular sculpture of the guy. And it is better than the one they originally had on the prototype. With that said though, the head sculpt is not really that important for me because, again, I was a fan of Star-Lord before the movie. And for me, you know, Star-Lord without his metallic mask, which we're going to take a closer look to in a minute, is like Spider-Man without his mask. It just doesn't feel right. So when I personally want to display this guy in my collection, I want him with this mask. So again, I think the sculpt could have been better, but again, in my opinion, I really need it. It's nice to have. If maybe the sculpt would have looked more like Chris Pratt, I would actually have him on display with that sculpt. Which reminds me, if you don't know about it, but Chronicle Collectibles, it's a company that makes, well, they make collectibles, and they're currently working on a new line from Jurassic Park. I want to make a video to talk more about that because I'm really excited. But they're going to be doing an Owen Grady from Jurassic World 1/6 scale figure. So we're going to be getting another company tackling Chris Pratt, which will be very interesting. I think for their case, I will need them to nail the face better because again, Owen Grady doesn't have a mask, so he has to look good. So there you go. Now let's just move to the actual figure. Oh, obviously you have the stand there. Let me just zoom into that. Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. Very cool. Nothing special, but decent, decent enough. Here we have Star-Lord himself. Let me just mind that a little better so we can take a closer look at him. So, right off the bat, I can tell you the best quality. Well, the best aspect of this figure itself is the actual coat he's wearing. That kind of like wine violet. Well, no, it's not. Well, this like red wineish color that it has is really well done. It's exactly like the movie. You have the symbol of the scavengers, whatever they are, which I love. You have the arm gauntlets. Um, just such a heavily detailed coat. It's kind of astonishing, actually, how much work this thing had. Um, and just to make it look more movie accurate, if you see here at the bottom, all the burning, all the scratching, that's all added in to make it more, legitimate, to make it more like, okay, this is Star-Lord. He's an adventurer. He's been around. He's got into trouble. This is exactly what we expected his coat to look. This is how it looks in the movie. And it's astonishing. You even have stitches here. Like, at some point, he stitched this back together. Uh, so, on the coat alone, I mean, this guy just kind of kills it. I feel like this, if I had to pinpoint one, the most impressive thing about this figure would be the coat. Uh, Back to the actual figure itself, though. It's the usual Hot Toys articulation. You're not going to be moving around too much, but if you're worried that the coat is going to limit his articulation, this guy actually can move pretty well with it. He has a pretty nice range of articulation with it. I mean, you don't have the best. If he didn't have a coat, it's always going to be obviously going to be better. But with the actual coat, he actually does look pretty solid. So for those of you who do photography and you want to get him in specific scenes to replicate movements and whatnot, then you will get a good fair range of movement from this guy. So let's look at the feet right now at the moment. Something pretty cool. So the jetpacks he has here at the bottom he uses to escape at the beginning of the movie. For those of you who read the comic book, they're actually in the comic book. They're attached to the bottom of his boots. Those have a lot of awesome detail in them. Like, I cannot express how cool they actually look. If I could get a good shot here. So much work goes into every single thing. He looks well, he is. I did it when I first watched the movie. I thought like, okay, well, this Star-Lord is essentially the Han Solo of the Marvel universe, but he's a little bit more than that. I think he is definitely, without a doubt, a cowboy. I mean, the whole getup that he has. He might be in space. He might be, a, you know, well, he might be in space. He still looks like a space cowboy. He is by definition a space cowboy. If you really take a close look at him. Um, and this is what I was after the code, which I think is the best aspect of the guy. You have the sculpt of the mask. Now, I love the sculpt of the mask. I really do. Let's just zoom in a little closer to it. I just think it's an astounding piece. The red in the eyes is a little reflective. As far as I know, there's no LED lights on it, so you can turn it on or not. At one point before the figure actually came out, I thought it might have LED lights, but it does not. Doesn't really make a difference for me because, again, as you can see, it's a very reflective material in there, so it always looks slightly brighter than the rest. Um, the So this actually right here Just take a closer look. The articulation itself is pretty good on that. If you bend it that way, you can see, I don't know if you can see through the camera, but you can see the actual bullet joint holding the head together, so you might want to be careful with that if you're really trying to display him in a certain way. Aside from that, it works. It just works. It's a really well put together figure. And just that for me, that that is Star-Lord. The long coat, the mask, that is what I want to see when I look at my display and look for Star-Lord. That right there. So just to recap, that's pretty much it. I love this figure. He's going around for around $300 on eBay. I don't know if that's essentially fair price for him. I mean, he's sold out on retail. You can look at the sideshow stores. You can look at Midtown Comics. You can look at any other major online retail. He won't be around. You won't find him. He's sold out. I personally have been trying to look for him after he sold out earlier last year, and I couldn't find him. I was lucky to just manage to finally get him earlier this month. But if you can find a local comic book shop who still has this guy around and they're not, gouging you $300 for him, if you're somewhere around $250, it might be worth considering getting if you really want him. Um, I feel like for now he's getting a lot really expensive because he's sold out. But again, let's not forget there's a Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in 2017, so that's next year. So there's gonna be another Star-Lord Hot Toys figure. You know that if you missed out on this one, you'll be able to get that one. If it's not that one, you can get another one because I'm sure they're gonna be. From what I heard, Star-Lord and the Guardians of the Galaxy are actually gonna make an appearance on the following Avengers movie, the one where it's the Infinite Gauntlet or whatnot. So he's gonna be different. He might have the short coat or not. This version of Hot Toys, I think, of Star Lord is gonna be quite unique. I think that's the only one you'll see for a while. But again, you don't have to have them all. Um, with that said, though, if you're impatient, try to be careful. Don't if you continue we keep paying high prices for him, he's gonna get more expensive. It's just not gonna get ridiculous. But with that said, he is a really good figure. I feel I got a great of a deal. I mean, $170 for any Hot Toys figure is insane. The cheapest Hot Toys figure I've ever seen is for $160, which is Rocket Raccoon out of retail. But aftermarket Hot Toys at $170 is actually a fair deal. You could probably only get Tonto from the Lone Ranger for that. I'm not even sure. I don't think a lot of people actually bought that figure. Um, but yeah, really good figure. And if you liked what you saw here today, please subscribe and comment and let me know what you think. I love talking to people about their collections. Show me what you have. Let's share videos. I want to see more. Um, I'm gonna be bringing more stuff after this episode. I actually also have Groot and Rocket Raccoon. I got the Sideshow exclusive double pack, so I'm gonna be reviewing those two. I have a lot of things to say about Rocket Raccoon in particular, so make sure to subscribe again. And again, just enjoy it and let's talk toys and video games and movies. Is awesome. Okay, thank you for watching.